Hello. 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 Hello.
Good evening, doctor.
Hello.
Good evening, doctor. Am I audible? Yeah, I can see you, and your voice was also clear.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, yes. I'm Dr. Seema.
Okay, I'm Dr. Elfly.
Yeah,
So how are you?
I'm doing well.
First time I saw, your face. It's all
Yes, we
always
are.
on phone.
Yeah, no, I have never into a
Yes.
conversation with you earlier. This is the
So
first time.
all the
Yeah,
best. I'm really
same,
tense and
same here.
nervous.
Same here. Chalo, let's see how it goes, and hopefully it will work well. No technical errors, and we have
Yeah.
our eminent,
All the best.
definitely eminent doctors here. Okay.
Anyways, I think it's fine. Everything.
Yes, it's all good. Clear.
Dr. Kavya.
Hello, Dr. Lata, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. Yes, doctor.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're audible.
Doctor, am I audible? Hi, good
Yes,
evening.
yes, yes. I'm okay.
Sorry, I was a little late from clinic. ഇപ്പൊ കയറി വന്നേ ഉള്ളൂ. അപ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് ഞാൻ അതേ വിചാരിച്ചോണ്ട് ഞാൻ വിചാരിച്ചു 8 മണിയാന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചു. I was, under the impression it's going to be 8 o'clock. Hi, Dr. Elfie.
Hi.
Hi, Dr. Pillai. Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Asha. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So
Kavya?
nice.
Kavya, can you test your voice, please?
Yes. So am I audible?
Yeah,
Am I
you're
audible?
audible.
Actually, our
Yes,
network is
Okay, okay. If it's a problem, you can. Hi, Seema.
Hi. Good evening, all. Good evening,
Yes.
Lata ma'am.
no. Am I
Yeah, I
audible?
think
Sorry, if
yes.
you're having problem, you can switch off the video.
Now
But it's
am I?
okay if you can switch it on.
Okay. Hi, ma'am. First time I'm seeing you, like face to face. It's always on phones or messages. Anyways, thank you so much for all this. It's your motivation only I can do this, you know.
I think there's a message from Dr. Deepu saying that Kavya has to connect, no, ma'am? Yeah.
Hello.
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 Hello, can you
Yes.
hear
Hi.
me?
Yes. I'm Dr.
Dr.
Elfie.
I'm here. I'm online, so you can just tell me when they are
You're online,
joining.
sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, hello,
Okay.
Dr. Elfie. Dr. Rosina this side.
Hi.
Hi.
First time we're
Good to
seeing ourselves face to face. So yes,
yeah,
it's nice to have
correct.
you online.
Hello. Yes,
It's
tell
nice
me.
to have you online. Yes, yes.
Thank you so
So
much for inviting.
yeah, actually we want to give everyone a chance, every chapter. So from
Mhm.
different chapters, we are here in this team. So yes, thank you. Yeah.
We had our celebration yesterday and it was a huge success.
Yeah. So anyways, today also is a huge day. So all the
Yes.
best to all of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Dr. Kavya, can you hear me?
My niece.
Hi, Mini Auntie. You're doing well? Looking pretty today.
Thank you. And you too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Molu, officially the name is different.
Yeah. Asha, doctor. So sorry. I'm so sorry, doctors.
No problem, Guta.
Zenat did for me. Zenat. क्या बोला तू? ये तो जूम है ना इंडिया.
Dr. Kavi, let us start.
So shall we start? Is it audible? So good evening, everyone. Welcome all to the first official program of IHMA National Women's Wing, Fair Metrics. So myself, Dr. Kavya, and I am happy to be your MC today. Hope you all are ready for an exciting and memorable time together. So as I mentioned, Fair Metrics is our program today. So the Fair Metrics means fair, female, and also represent the element iron. Also, the matrix means a mass of fine-grained rock in which gems, crystals, or fossils are embedded. So simply, it's a cultural, social, or political environment in which something is developed. So let's start. Indian Homeopathic Medical Association, as you all know, is the premier organization of qualified homeopaths of India with chapters in many major cities and in UAE too. We at IHMA envision global acceptance of homeopathy and strives continuously to universalize homeopathy's inherent strength for safe, effective, and affordable healthcare for the wellness of humanity. For every woman, today is a very special day, right? As you all know, today is International Women's Day. So today we celebrate the remarkable achievements, resilience, and contributions of women worldwide. Undoubtedly, I will say women who have broken barriers pave the way for future generations. So International Women's Day is a reminder for all of us to realize the woman's potential and create a world where every woman and girl feels safe, secure, and empowered. So here I am concluding my words and moving on to our business session. So I would like to welcome Dr. Rosina, Women's Wing Chairperson, Dubai chapter, for delivering the welcome speech. Welcome, Dr. Rosina.
Yes. Sorry, I was unmute actually. Okay. Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you so much for having me on board for this celebration. It's really a very nice feeling. I represent UAE chapter and I've been the Women's Wing elected last year. And we had our celebrations yesterday, which was an online program, and it was a huge success in UAE. So first of all, hello to everyone, and thank you very much for having me here, as I said. And without taking much of your time, let us begin. So a very warm greetings and a very happy Women's Day to all the remarkable women gathered here today, as well as to the gentlemen who stand in solidarity with us on this occasion, although I see very few names, but thank you so much for the support. 8th of March, as we all know, we celebrate as International Women's Day, a day dedicated to recognizing and honoring the immense potential that every woman embodies. Whether as leaders in politics, business tycoons, trailblazers in science and arts, or nurturing homemakers, women excel in every role they undertake. Women symbolize love, but also strength and compassion, demonstrating the fierceness akin to a lioness when the situation demands it. In 2024, we rally behind the theme of investing in women to accelerate progress. emphasizing the critical importance of gender equality, empowerment, and the right to lead healthier lives for all women and girls. We applaud the courage of women who fiercely speak their truth, champion what they believe in, and strive to create a world where every woman feels safe, empowered, and duly recognized. It is with great humility that I stand before such an esteemed gathering and extend a warm welcome to each of you. Allow me to introduce some of the incredible guests here. And to begin with all honors, I would like to welcome Dr. Dheeraj Prem Kumar, National Secretary of IHMA and a highly respected homeopath from Coimbatore with a roaring practice. Your presence and support enrich our celebration today. Welcome, sir. Thank you for taking the time out for Women's Wing. Thank you so much. I also welcome Dr. Alfil Khapia, the chairperson of the National Women's Wing and the president of the IHMA Meghalaya chapter, whose dedication to both homeopathy and women's empowerment is truly commendable. Welcome, madam. I now move on to welcoming our special guest. And it's a real honor to have them as our esteemed panelist, Professor Dr. Maya Rani, whose expertise extends beyond homeopathy to psychology, life coaching, and crisis management. And her relentless pursuit of knowledge and service to IHMA is truly inspiring. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. We have all been inspired with you. And I do remember one thing I would like to add, that she was the motivation factor when we started our first Women's Wing in UAE. So thank you, ma'am. And you please continue to inspiring us. Joining us is Dr. Asha Varghese with 25 years of exemplary practice in homeopathy. Also as a counselor and family therapy, she is also the president of IHMA Bangalore. Your presence adds great value to our gathering, ma'am. Most welcome. A special welcome to all the doctors gathered here from various state chapters of India and our friends from UAE. Your presence is integral to the success of this event. Let us collectively advocate for gender equality to foster a society free from bias and discrimination. In words of Michelle Obama, there is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. May this evening inspire and uplift each one of us to strive for greater heights. Thank you, and let us begin. Let us commence the celebrations to Free Matrix. And thank you so much for having me once again. Good luck.
Thank you, Dr. Rosina, for your welcome speech. Next, I would like to welcome Dr. Eflida Kapay, Chairperson, IHMA National Women's Wing and President of IHMA Meghalaya Chapter, for the presidential address. Welcome you, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am, is it
honored and privileged to be a part of the IHMA National Women's Wing and also to be a part of this organizing team of Matrix, a program very well thought of as a part of celebrating Women's Day this year. Every time we attended webinars or conferences, it's always about our medical profession, right? Diseases, diagnosis, treatment, case presentations, etc. But on this special day of ours, let us do something different. Let us discuss something about us women. who is also a wife, a mother, a caregiver, a doctor by profession, with so many responsibilities hanging over our shoulder. And let us also celebrate all those women who have broken barriers and have paved the way for us to be able to, so that we will be able to use our potentials and opportunities to be who we are today. Balancing one's family, professional, and social life takes great discipline, patience, and perseverance. It's not an easy task. So let's hear it ourselves from our guests tonight of how they have done it. So once again, I wish all of you a happy and a blessed Women's Day. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Over to you, Dr. Kavya.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Eflida. So next, moving on to the inauguration, I would like to welcome Dr. Dheeraj Samuel, Secretary General, IHMA. Welcome you, sir.
Good evening, all. I'm in the midst of my practice, so I'm sorry. But then, anyway, a very good evening and wishing all a very happy Women's Day. It gives me great and immense pleasure and joy to be here among your midst to inaugurate such a wonderful program, FE Matrix, as you all have named it. And I am very happy for the Women's Wing, and a big thanks to Dr. Elfrida Kapia, the IHMA National Women's Wing chairperson, for putting up this team that put up this webinar. And a warm welcome and my greetings to Dr. Maharani and Dr. Asha B. Verghese, our partners today and the panelists for today. And this is the beginning where we would be so happy to have our minds and hearts open to new ideas, that we can come together to learn new facts and share our experience as we all know why we've come here. And let's work all together to create a welcoming and inclusive environment for all of our voices to be heard. So with this, I thank you once again for giving me this opportunity to be present here, and I inaugurate this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Dheeraj Samuel. So, and finally, I would like to welcome Dr. Leda, Women's Wing Chairperson, Kerala Chapter, for delivering vote of thanks. Welcome, Dr. Leda.
Thank you, Dr. Kavya. Respected Chair, Dr. F, right? Secretary General, Dr. Dheeraj Samuel, our faculties, Dr. Maya Rani Senior, Dr. Asha B. Verghese, moderator, Dr. Seema Pillai, all NWC and SWC members, and dear friends. Happy Women's Day to one and all. Being a lady in a homeopathy, I consider both God's gift to me. So I'm very honored and very happy to have this privilege to show vote of thanks on Women's Day celebration of our National IHMA Women's Week. Let me come to my duty first because time is running late. First, let me thank our National Chairperson, Ravi. She's the guiding force behind today's program. Thank you, ma'am. On behalf of IHMA and all of us present here, thank you, ma'am. Dr. Dheeraj Samuel, Secretary General of IHMA, is a very busy person in his practice, and the various IHMA proceedings, the elections are going on. So he has a lot of work to do. And we thank you very much, sir, for finding time to honor us for being here and inaugurate the session. Dr. Maya Rani Senior and Dr. Asha B. Verghese, we have two eminent lady homeopaths here who have succeeded very well in their professional and personal life with a perfect balance and harmony. Thank you, dears, in advance, and we are eagerly waiting for your session. Dr. Seema Pillai, an invaluable member of IHMA, especially during online sessions. Thank you, ma'am, for being the moderator of the session. We thank the National Diet for the full support they have given us, and also IHMA Kerala for lending us the Zoom and YouTube platform for the session. Dr. Isra, technical head of IHMA Kerala, and Dr. Deepu, National Technical Director. Thank you for the technical support you have given us. And Dr. Rosina from all the way from UAE chapter for doing the welcome speech. And our MCs, Dr. Kavya and Dr. Surabhi. Thank you for helping us. And last but not the least, we thank all the delegates participating from all over India and abroad from the UAE chapter. Thank you once again. Over to you, Dr. Kavya.
Thank you, Dr. Lata. Now it's time to move on for our panel discussion on the topic, how to balance your professional and personal life successfully. For that, we have two guests here. First, I would like to welcome Dr. Maya Rani Senan, BHMS, MSc Psychology, MBA in Self-Management and Crisis Management, MPhil in Counseling and Guidance, PhD scholar in Yoga and Life Sciences, also currently pursuing PG diploma in classical homeopathy. She holds many positions, but the most important is that she was the past General Secretary of IHMA Kerala. And next, I would like to welcome Dr. Asha B. Verghese, BHMS, MSc in Counseling and Family Therapy, currently pursuing her PG diploma in Mental Health. She is practicing for the past 25 years. Presently, she is the president of IHMA Bangalore chapter. So now it's the time to start our panel discussion. For that, we have a moderator here. I would like to welcome Dr. Seema Pillai, MD, Repertory, Fellowship in Clinical Research and MA Clinical Psychology. She is a guest lecturer, LHMC Rajkot, counselor at Kendriya Vidyalaya, Mumbai, and a full-time homeopath having a private homeopathy practice under the aegis of Indian Navy, Mumbai. So welcome Dr. Seema Pillai and continue with the panel discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kavya. Thank you for a warm welcome. Firstly, I extend my warm wishes to all the doctors present here, the intelligent, the beautiful, the most wonderful lady doctors of IHMA. I express my gratitude towards the IHMA for giving me this opportunity to be part of this Women's Wing Celebration 2024. I am humbled to be the moderator of this panel discussion with our eminent leaders, lady doctors of IHMA, Dr. Maya Rani Senan and Dr. Asha Verghese. So in today's session, we are in conversation with Dr. Maya Rani Senan and Dr. Asha Verghese. So my first question goes to Dr. Maya. Dr. Maya, your journey as Dr. Kavya has already listed out so many things that you have done throughout your professional life, has seen various roles, whether it be the part of your qualification, attaining new degrees, and adding new feathers to your throne, I would say. Okay, be it a homeopath, a psychologist, a soft skills trainer who imbibes and inculcates the young minds to how to build up the personality, how to be strong. So, Doctor, my main question to you is, what is the drive and the motivation behind all this, that you are leading different roles? And it's a strategic thinker, as we all, those who know counseling, those who are psychologists would say that those who are doing this different kind of roles, they are definitely a strategic thinker. So what is the motivation? What is the drive behind this? Yes, ma'am. Up to you.
Thank you, Seema. First of all, I would like to wish everyone a happy International Women's Day. Am I audible enough?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I would like to start with a quote by Indra Nooyi, the former CEO of PepsiCo. What she said was, balancing your personal and professional life is not easy. There is no balance as such. And it's an art of juggling. So based on that, I would like to answer the question that Seema put to me. Yes, I think I'm a good juggler, and we all women are. And the main point is I believe, as a psychologist, I believe that each and every person has a lot of qualities, skills, and aptitudes. And you have every right and every chance in this new world to explore that. Whatever capabilities that you have, I believe is you have to try it out at least once in your lifetime. Try to develop that. If it suits you and if it's beneficial, please keep on doing that. That's the reason I trained myself in various aspects, or I did all my PGs in psychology, crisis management, soft skills, a lot of certificate programs, because I believe I'm a good student and I believe I can communicate my ideas to other people, and thereby I can help them for a better life. Because as homeopaths, what homeopathy basically is to heal a person and relieve them of all the restrictions. And the final aim of homeopathy is freedom. A freedom to do whatever a person wants, a freedom to develop, a freedom to grow. So this was the basic thought where I wanted to try out many things. Of course, homeopathy, it has a good role in psychological aspects. So whatever I learned was like a value addition, and also just testing out myself. Part of me wanted to grow as a person, as a homeopath, and as a human being. So that's the reason I tried out all these things. And of course, there are a lot of challenges that we would face during this. Let's discuss that later on.
Thank you, Dr. Maya. It was a very crisp answer. What leads you to attaining these many degrees? Thank you for the inputs. So my next question goes to Dr. Asha. Doctor, firstly, I would say that IHMA is definitely proud of you, having a span of 25 years of long practice in a city of Bangalore and leading now the IHMA Bangalore chapter as president. You have this rich experience of 25 years of pure homeopathic practice. We often see that during our life, say, lady doctors, we happen to go through different changes in life. Say, suppose after marriage, we need to change our place where we are born and brought up, we move to some other places. And there are other changes like in life after the child birth, definitely we may think of taking a break from our career, and so on and on because of the familial responsibility. Okay, so that happens to be a career gap. But the other day when I was just into a conversation on WhatsApp with you, I came to know that you did not take this career gap. You have this 25 years of pure experience, which did not get this off track practice. Okay. So what is your message to our budding doctors as well as to all those lady doctors who are rethinking to restart, to kickstart their career after taking this career gap? Or in your opinion, what it takes to get back to the driver's seat and to get the control of your career? Yeah, Dr. Asha, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Pillai. First and foremost, let me start with, a very happy Women's Day to all the women, beautiful women over here. And thank you, IHMA, for helping me or probably, get into the position I am in right now. And also thank you for letting me share a platform with an eminent doctor like Dr. Maya Rani. She's got years of experience beyond, I saw all those the qualifications, etc. I'm amazed, doctor. Like all of you, I have shared I had my share of challenges, lots of challenges that sometimes tested my resolve, pushed me to the brink. But with these challenges is how I have found my calling, my purpose. And some crazy stuffs have happened in my life too. Like you can always, relate with it, I'm sure. It's like juggling a million things at once. Sometimes we have to accept these challenges that comes our way. They are not obstacles, but they are opportunities for growth. So as you said, every transition in our life, it can be from childbirth, or it is like when the children are growing, etc. These are all challenges we keep facing on a regular basis. Despite all these chaos, I have learned a thing or two along the way. And it is especially to the upcoming doctors out there, to come back into the game is a difficult task. But it is never late to pursue your passion, to reignite the flame that once burned so well within you. Remember, why did you become a doctor in the first place? What was the calling? Because you wanted to be in a noble profession like, being a doctor. If you see that in our first aphorism, our master, Dr. Hahnemann, he calls it a mission. And why did he not call it just a job? I feel he's one of the most spiritual person I have, probably come across. He spoke about mind, body, soul, the holistic approach, etc. Right? So why did he call it a mission? Out of the crores of people in this population, only few doctors to get into this a noble profession to help people. I'm sorry, there's some problem with my internet connection. Am I audible, doctor?
Yes, doctor, now you're audible well.
I'm sorry if there was some internet problem.
Yeah, now you're quite well audible. So you can go on. Yeah, please go.
Okay. Yeah. So the question was what it takes, to bring us back into the driver's seat. It takes courage, it takes determination and a deep sense of purpose to step out of a comfort zone, to embrace the unknown, to trust in the journey ahead. And most importantly, it takes a belief in yourself. You have to believe in yourself that you can do well, you can do this. As I was saying that, they called it a mission. Out of millions of people, only few of us have been chosen to get into this field. So imagine, so this is a calling for us. It is a calling for the mankind, to do good to the mankind. There'll be hundreds of obstacles, you can overcome all this and you can go ahead with your passion. If this is your passion, never lose the gist of whatever you're doing. Come back into the field. To all the budding doctors, the ones who are like not willing to come back, I would say, please do come back. Give it a try. Come back and see if you can do it. Even one patient per day, that's going to make lots of difference in your life. Start with a single patient. It's okay if you don't see hundreds of people in a day. It is okay. The single person in a day is fine. But do your best. You have spent so many years studying, making yourself good, and now you're getting an opportunity to do the same. So this is the main thing I want to tell you people. So don't let anything come your way, and ensure please that you people are doing whatever it takes for you to come back into this. Start even at home if you can, start with a small clinic at home, never mind. Or you just go online, or there are so many platforms in which we can do a difference. We can make a difference in our life. In each and every other doctor's life, this can be done. That's all, Dr. Pillai.
Thank you, Dr. Asha. You have filled us with positivity, and definitely the passion towards the practice of homeopathy is something that shouldn't drive in us. So my next question now goes to Dr. Senan. Dr. Senan, we all come from different backgrounds. Familial things are different, upbringing are different. We imbibe different cultures and values. So managing life according to our own values isn't easy every time. Okay. Many who don't embrace your values would put you on test on daily basis, just as Dr. Asha has said. There could be several challenges in our personal life also. People around us who may question our duties to our family. There could be negative people who may definitely try to drag you down in your profession also. If you're doing well in your profession, they may try to find some faults in the kind of practice you're doing. or as you are juggling between different kind of profession, why you need to do all these kind of things? Okay, why you're putting your eggs in different baskets? That would be the question. Okay, so now my main question is like, Doctor, how in today's fast-paced life we can manage such situation, how we can overcome such kind of people around us, their impression on us, and definitely not leaving our values. Yes, Doctor, over to you.
Okay, that's a good question, Dr. Seema, because as human beings, we are always concerned about what other people think or what other people's impression are about us. Actually, my mantra for that is your self-esteem, your assertiveness, and your belief in yourself. That's the first thing that will help you to overcome all these things. If you know what you're doing is right, just go ahead. You're answerable only to your family, because whatever heights you achieve professionally, at the end of the day, you come back to your family. So those are the people who are really important to you. And in case we have someone in your family and your relatives or a second circle, they find something not to their liking, that could create a problem. But the fact is, keep on doing what you are doing, because you may face a lot of criticisms just because you don't just fit into someone else's pattern. Your life, your family, your profession, you should have a clear idea about that. What your profession should end or where should it go? It's like a corporate interview question. Where do you see yourself after 10 years or 5 years? The same thing you have to apply in your profession also. You should not be stagnated. You should not give any opportunity to be stagnated. Keep on growing. And of course, on your personal front, you need to bring in all your family members together, because as we say, family is the first team, and we all are team players in the family. We need to bring in everyone, take everyone into confidence. Share the love, share your ideas, ask them for their suggestions and their help. These situations, what I faced is, to be frank, on a personal note, my husband is working abroad. I had to bring up 2 of my girls alone, literally alone. But luckily, my mom pitched in. But due to my classes or for the workshops and the sessions, everything, I had to travel a lot. And I would be very late coming home. And obviously, I'm living in a rural area. The people had raised eyebrows, but I knew what I was doing. I knew that I'm pursuing my dream. Every woman, every individual has a right to pursue their dream, be it on a family side or on a professional side. You don't cut yourself short just because someone else doesn't like what you're doing. This is my basic mantra. I don't know how many of you can implement that in your life, because as you said, the life situations are different. The family values are different. When you are genuine, when you are right, and when you're assertive without being aggressive or arrogant, people will understand you in the long run. Maybe you'll face a lot of criticism in the initial phases. I faced a lot of criticism when I joined for my MSc, I think, for psychology. Everyone asked me, why are you wasting? You've got a sufficiently good practice. Why are you going and learning again? See, that is the cliche or the prototypes which we need to break. After marriage, a woman is not supposed to do anything. After having kids, she's not supposed to do anything. No. Even at the last breath, if you're capable of doing something, just go for it. That's my mantra. So I heard a lot of criticism, a lot of ridicule, but the fun part was after some time, the people who ridiculed me, they came and asked me for my appointment to take a session in their area. I find that as a success as a person, just because I pursued what I dreamt of. And as a person, I want everyone to be happy. And if my knowledge helps you to be happy, and I feel that I'm a successful doctor or a successful counselor or a psychologist. So I hope this answers your question, Dr. Seema.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Like we homeopaths do believe odd is affair, dare to be wise. I think definitely every lady doctor who is listening to you will have that courage to be wise enough to make the right decision for her career, to set in and take the best step forward towards her career, irrespective of any kind of negative impacts that the society or say her near and dear they are putting on her. Thank you, Dr. Senan, for enlightening us and filling definitely with more positivity. Yes. So my next question goes to Dr. Varghese. Again, it's encouraging to know that you also extended your qualification by attending MSc in counseling and family therapy and pursuing your diploma in mental health. So, doctor, in your opinion, definitely this is add on to our basic qualification of homeopathy. So in today's dynamic world, definitely it's not enough. I believe, this is my opinion, that to stick on with a limited set of knowledge, we need to expand. So in your opinion, in this dynamic world where things are changing, the configuration settings are changing, just like the mobile, we keep on changing from Android to this and that. New mobile comes into the market and the old whatever software you are using won't be working. So you need to be updated in all the way, whether it be on the professional front or it be the technology. So please guide everyone here about the multifaceted professional horizon. And definitely you have also stepped into it beyond homeopathy and in bringing in the counseling factor in your practice. Yes, doctor, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Pillai. So balancing mental well-being and physical health, it is one of the most challenging situations for any doctor. And my mother, she's a role model for me. And many of you know her, Dr. Rama Devi Ambadi. So she is a role model. I have seen her do it throughout her life. So the first thing I have to tell you people is mental health. It's a need of the hour, a good mental health. So along with that, all of us, we should have a few strategies by which we should strike a balance. One is, the first one, I would say, self-care routines. We call it self-love nowadays, taking care of your own self, prioritizing yourself, sleeping well, eating a balanced diet, engaging in regular exercises. These are very important for us to have a balance. Mindfulness and a stress management, meditation, deep breathing exercises, yoga, having an inner calm, taking regular short breaks, relaxing, recharging. These are all important in today's world. We should also seek support from the emotional support, guidance from our friends, mentors, family members. We should share our experiences and concerns with whoever we can share it with, and especially the challenges of the medical profession. We should have each other's back. Dr. Pillai, is the connection okay? I'm having some messages coming in as the internet connection is poor.
Yeah. Now it is clear. In between, it was breaking. Now it's fairly clear.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think there's a bit of an issue happening over here.
You're audible, ma'am.
Yeah. We should also learn to set boundaries. What is setting boundaries? We should say no to too much of work, additional work, too much of commitments. You should not pull yourself beyond a tangible point. It'll be very overwhelming, and we should delegate tasks to whoever we can, prioritize our personal time, our relaxation time, our leisure activities. Just yesterday, there was this case in which he was a person from Mumbai. So he was like, I have a very tough schedule. And then he goes on a holiday. And what does he do on the holiday? He roams around and he's too tired after the holiday. I hope you understood the gist of the thing. So we should have a relaxing holiday, probably when you go on a holiday after having a very hectic schedule. Please ensure that you're going and relaxing. It is okay. 2 days of just sleeping and just relaxing. Very important for us. We should also seek professional help. If you feel you're under stress, anxiety, depressions, there are many in our group with stories. We can all relate to it. But then, do we seek help? That is the most important thing. There are hardly any people who go to a counselor because we feel it is okay. But even during the counseling sessions, they say the counselor has to undergo the first counseling session with another counselor so that he is free of any kind of stress or any kind of tensions in his life. He can do better work then. And maintaining a life work balance, a healthy life work balance is something especially for us women. It is very difficult. Scheduling, the vacations, the hobbies, the children, everything. It's like quite a Herculean task, I should say. But then we should do it for our own well-being. Recently, I'll just tell you with a few cases itself, so you'll understand how the cases come to a clinic too. Recently, just I had a person from an IT field. He was like, I'm going to have a layoff, doctor. I think I'm going into depression because I'm going to be losing my job. I said, okay, fine. So what can you do about it? He said, I can't do anything about it. Then he was like, I'm going into depression. So I just asked him, what was the thing you always wanted to do in case if you did not have a job? What was it that you wanted to do? And this person was like, I don't know, doctor, what to do. And he asked me, doctor, what would you do? I said, I love to travel. I would travel, I said. Then he just thinks back and he kind of just thinks, I think I will learn music, probably guitar, he says. I said, yeah, if that's what you wanted to do, think it as a break, a 1-year break, 6 months break until you get your next job. So go into the passion, what you feel like you wanted to do. Sometimes in our busy schedule, we forget ourselves. We just do not know who we are. We don't even know our preferences as women sometimes. You just ask a woman, what do you want? I mean, she never makes her favorite food on the table. It's always either for the husband's favorite, your people's favorite, your kid's favorite. I never seen any woman prioritizing herself. Probably not with food, but the rest of the things I think you should learn to love yourself because you're giving it out of an empty cup. You don't know to love yourself. How are you going to love others? So take your vacations, much needed time. And beyond all this, we are doctors. So continued education, personal development. These are also an important factor in our field. So to all the women out there, do it. You can do it. And most important, we keep preaching, but we never practice is regular checkups. Go for your checkups. Do everything you want to do, like, from the basic checkups to yearly checkups, whatever you do. But ensure that you're doing it for yourself. You're worth it. That's all, Dr. Pillai.
Thank you, Dr. Varghese. In nutshell, it's about our health, our well-being, our mental health, let it be our physical health, and let's not delay it. And also, day in, day out, we go through so much of stress at personal and professional front. So it is important, as you mentioned, to set a limit to things you do. Do not overstretch and ask for help, as Dr. Senan also marked it earlier. So my next question is to Dr. Maya. Doctor, as women, as you mentioned, that you've been juggling between different roles, balancing familial responsibilities with career aspiration, and still you're pursuing your dreams. I know. I recently saw the picture where you were actually leading the students, the young minds, about how they can be the pilot of their own life, right? So, and also I have seen you super excellent on the IHMA platform. Every time you are there, your charisma is beyond my words. I mean, I cannot express. When you are there, yes, you are there to speak few words, but definitely you are clear, crisp to send a message across the our own IHMA fraternity. So my question to you is, we have a lots of budding homeopaths who are members of IHMA. And in our stages, different stages of lady homeopaths, we go through different challenges, whether it be professional, as we are continuously talking about it, professional or familiar, or say financial. What is your message to this budding homeopaths just to come out and be part of IHMA, just not be a member on paper, but to be part of each and every activity and to support each other? How, what it takes to be that one person to go and ask to another lady doctor, yes, I am there. If you are in need, please reach out to me. Because in our association, definitely this solidarity is necessary. So your message to all the budding homeopaths, the lady doctors, as well as the ones who have joined lately, the message to them to go forward, to be a leader in whatever small proportion their contribution to the association, and definitely it will lead to a bigger contribution to their own career as well. Doctor, over to you.
Yes, Seema. First of all, we have to believe that we are a doctor. I believe that being a doctor is a blessing, and being a homeopathic doctor is a much more blessing. Me as a person who had developed whatever you said, very beautiful words, thanks for that. I grew up with IHMA. I would say thanks to IHMA for helping me to grow. And this organization, in the initial phase, we did not have the women's wing, but it was just a total group. There were people who were ready to nurture, who were ready to hold my hand, give suggestions, rectify my mistakes, be with me. So what I believe is whatever I got as a person, as a personal growth and as on a social front, it's all because I joined this association of elite homeopaths. And everywhere when I speak to the young, especially women doctors, I would say, please come together. Let's hold our hands together. Let's be with each other. Let's share our problems. And we had made that, or we had, what do you call it, given face to that. We, from Kottayam IHMA, we had a series of program called Duty. It was a series of programs based on different clinical conditions, which lasted for many days. A lot of young doctors and doctors who were not practicing, they attended this sessions, and I'm happy to say many of them started practicing again. They found their worth as a doctor. Even though, as Dr. Asha mentioned, even if it's a small practice in your home, they started doing that. That was a motivation of an organization. And I believe that staying together is a great support system, because many of our family members won't be able to give us that support because they may not know about our professional, what do you call it, difficulties are, or what a profession needs. If your family is super supportive, you're very lucky. Like me, my husband, my kids, and my mom, all were like very supportive. So I had a comparatively easy journey, but there are people who does not have that blessing. For them, I would say that here in open in a public platform, that we are here. We all have our problems. If I have a problem, I would very well reach out to you, someone among you, to discuss my issues. And because I know that from the same, what you call it, strata, you'll be giving me a very positive feedback and a different perspective. As we say, when we are like in a bad mood, we are not able to see the right perspective. And you may be having a better one, which would be like working like magic for me. So let's do it for each other. It's not, I wouldn't say that it's helping. It's like being for them. That's what an organization is, and that's what women fraternity is there for. As you know that this year's theme for International Women's Day is invest in women and accelerate the success. So I would wish, let's invest together, let's be together, let's spend at least 5% of our time for our organization being together. Just listen to us, listen to each other, and make our every day a better one than yesterday. So we have the opportunity, we have the chances here. We have, I would say, we have the right to do that. So whatever challenges you have, as I said, no way you are going to have a bed of roses. If you're managing your family and your career, it's very difficult. I'll say it's very difficult. We'll be talking about strategies and planning and punctuality and discipline, right? We need that. I was a very stickler for punctuality, but everything was just jeopardized when my kids arrived. So when I would be planning to read to a couple of medicines, my little one would want to feed them, or my elder one would want to go to sleep. There goes your punctuality. So it's like planning your life with what you call it, a margin for flexibility. And this margin for flexibility in your planning would help you to reduce the stress. Dr. Asha was mentioning about self-care. This is an area where we need to be very careful, because women by nature is a nurturer, is a mother. She wants to mother everyone, the family members, the in-laws, her parents, kids, even the neighbors. We find time for everyone, but not for us. And what happens? We are like being stressed out. We are being overstretched, and there will be a point where you break. So before that, I have friends who tell me, Maya, slow down. And I love them for that, because they know where I'm going. We have a lot of good friends in IHMA. We know where you're going, where your thought process is going, and where you're going to break. See, that's the support we need. And that's a support that we can provide to other person. It's not just what sharing a, what you call it, medical terminologies or medical knowledge. Just being with other human as a good listener. That's a great thing that we can do. That's how we can bring all the women fraternity together. So let's hold hands. Let's share our problems. Let's share our mistakes. Let's laugh at our mistakes. Let's rectify them later and make new mistakes later on. Let the life go on. Dr. Seema.
What a wonderful thought. Let's be a support system for each other, ma'am. I hope that everyone who is listening to this will definitely look forward towards each other, and definitely in times of crisis would not hesitate to reach out to the fellow colleague, let it be a colleague or the member of IHMA. In whatever way IHMA can extend the support, will definitely move forward in that direction. Dr. Asha, in the same line, I would like to extend my next question. IHMA Bangalore chapter has been really active. I have also got the chance to attend quite a lot of online webinars, and thanks. I mean, I would definitely take this opportunity to thank the IHMA Bangalore chapter for organizing the online webinars. And I have seen many of the lady doctors who are behind the curtains, behind the scenes, and they are there to make sure good number of participation. So definitely IHMA Bangalore is definitely going to be a role model for showing this solidarity in women's wing. Your thoughts on it, how we can actually make it a model for more number of chapters. Ma'am, your thoughts on this?
Yes, Dr. Pillai, I have a set of ladies in my team, the super women without cape, I should say, right? So they have worked, day in, day out, like making an online session. Sometimes it is difficult getting people, Dr. Rekha, Dr. Saviona, Dr. Subicha, Dr. Ramya, if I've missed out anybody else, so all of them, they have worked quite a lot. So I wish like we have more chapters in Karnataka and all over India, because this is a collective thing we are looking forward to. It is like IHMA is an Indian Homeopathic Medical Association. People like whole of India getting together for a system like homeopathy is going to make us, it's going to empower us. We need it. This is a need of the hour, because there's lots of competition happening. There are lots of things happening against homeopathy. So uniting is very important. And I wish more chapters come up so that there's be more unity, there'll be more strength for us. And we have the support of all our state bearers. Like they have been wonderful, giving us lots of support. And we are, especially I am pretty new to this field. And it's in fact, I was shying away from all this and until I was pushed into this. So I felt, okay, I'll give it a try. But now I'm here and this is my second year into the tenure. I think, I don't know how many years I'll be going on. But thank you, IHMA, for this wonderful occasion, opportunity that you're given me. And there are like women who are very strong, like in my team, like I should especially thank those women. And that's it. Like, I think we should have more chapters. We should have more unity. We should have lots of people coming into these associations. I learned quite a lot after coming into this association. As I said, I used to work under, my mother. She was a traditional homeopath. And from there, I went to work in a corporate field. I'm not taking out any names. So there we were, taught how to deal with patients, how to talk to them, how to explain so we had a certain way of doing things. So each time we are exposed to these kind of opportunities, we learn more and more. We make mistakes, of course, as Dr. Maya Rani ma'am said, we make lots of mistakes. In fact, we are supposed to make mistakes. I keep telling my children, you should make mistakes. And we should have tough people around us, because good people around us, they make us comfortable. But tough people around us, people who challenge us, are the ones who make us strong. They are the ones who make us powerful, and we need them. So I keep telling, I keep telling all my younger kids and whoever is in a family, thank you for all the good people around me, but thank you more for all the bad people around me, or people who are tough on me, because they are the ones who are going to make me stronger. That's all, Dr. Philip.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And definitely, IHMA has found a gem in you. And we will definitely keep troubling you for making things happen and make sure that it's successful also. My next question goes to Dr. Senan. So, ma'am, you have already mentioned different situations of your life where it was a challenge to manage the family as well as your professional aspects. Okay. So it's like walking on a tightrope where your family needs you as a person, you needs all your attention. And there are like, if there is a submission, there is a deadline where you have to rush to the university, submit your paper. You have to, you may have emergency at the clinic. Doctor, you need to come at the very moment to the clinic. So it's quite difficult at times. Definitely. I too personally feel that many a times it's difficult when my son is not well and that I have to go to the clinic, as well as I am a counselor with Kendriya Vidyalaya. Taking her off is not so good impression for the students and the school. So there are various such situations in our life. So you also mentioned about involving family members to let them pitch in. Please share more thoughts, your experience, how actually pitching in family members into major decisions, into major planning. And as you talked about the strategies, please put more light on that, strategies, how family can be our support system in the whole process of making our life a little bit less difficult. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Dr. Seema, involving the family is the major trick, I would say. See, here, I would like to mention about the prototype, or what you call it, a mother, a father, husband, wife, kids. We all have like tailor-made roles, and we have a long list of duties and responsibilities to be performed. And that makes us in a tight situation when you are a mother, a wife, and a professional. Here, you need to see that all this, what do you call it, boxes have to be removed. For example, I would say your household chores. All our females here, you know that we have a lot of chores to be done at the home front. Even a 5-year-old can help you out. Just let them understand. It's not like helping your mom. That's a thing you have to do, be it a male or a female child. A 6-year-old can make their own beds. I'm not talking about the teenagers or the grown-up kids. Of course, they can take a major share of the work at home front. And all these little things would help them to be better people. I've seen parents where the parents feed the kids even when they are like 7 or 8 years old, literally feeding them by putting the food in the mouth. So you're not loving them, you're destroying them. So by incorporating the kids into the family activities would help them grow as a person, help them get all the basic life skills that they need. That's number one. Number two, the work at home gets delegated. The women, the nurturer, the what we call it, the superwoman. Actually, I don't like that term, superwoman. See, when you are given the term superwoman, what happens is you have to live up to it. But inside, there is a person who can be broken, who can be tired, who just want to leave everything and run from this place, who just want at least 5 minutes of peace. So when we feel that we are a superwoman, we are like very proud. Oh, I'm doing all these things. And we like keep on asking for all the duties. Actually, you're not supposed to do all those things. There is a limit that a person can take, your body, your mind, your emotion. It all has like a limit. Just set the boundaries there. And for that, you don't have to like say that, oh, you have to wash the plates. See, your husband can do it. Your husband can do the dishes, or the kids can keep fold the clothes. I would say it takes only 2 hours for a family members to come together and do the household chores. And this also, I would like to repeat myself, it's all about flexibility. If a child is ill, you give more importance to that child at that moment. And you can keep aside your profession away for some time. It's not like leaving up or stopping your practice, but yes, you can schedule. If you are in a government system, it would be very difficult because you have a boss to answer. But there also you should learn to say no where your boundaries are being stretched or you are being like bound too much and you are on a breaking point. The idea is to preserve yourself so that you can be a nurturer to everyone. It's not like burning a candle at both ends. You can burn the candle at one end and give the light, enough light. Women have a problem. We are made to feel guilty. If you leave your child at home with the nanny and go for work, and the child is like a toddler, we are made to feel guilty. And you are not going to perform well in your profession there. You'll be thinking always about the baby. So please do have separate compartments for your life. It needs separate compartments, but of course, sometimes it gets merged. But that's what life is all about. Delegate each and every activity in your family and I would say it's not like your husband and wife relationship or the children and parents. It's not like a 50-50 thing. Sometimes you may have to take up the responsibility of your children and husband. Sometimes you have to hand over the responsibility to your husband. Or if your children are grown up, hand it over to them. So it's not like what you call it rule. It's not an army or a defense system where the rules cannot be broken. Here the rules should be flexible enough so that everyone is relaxed, happy, and has got the chance to grow. This is where we women go wrong. We feel we have to do everything, from the shopping to cooking to cleaning to taking care of the child. See, as Dr. Asha said, you need sleep. If you have a toddler at home, your sleep is jeopardized. So you can take turns. You can ask your husband, one night, can you please take care of our baby so that I can sleep for some few hours? See, we never ask. That's the problem. We don't explain things to them. We just assume that it's our duty. And if we don't do that duty or if we fail, you feel that you're guilty. You're making a mistake, a grave sin. In India, especially, the women are not allowed to think for themselves. They have to think for others. Yes, that's a total Asian concept, thinking about others first. Of course, we have to. We should not be selfish all the time. But in order to nurture or provide for everyone, you need to be alive. You need to be creative. You need to be healthy. This is where the stress, frustrations, or what you call it, the D-dates, the kids, their development. We are all concerned about all these things. So creating, what you call it, what I can do and what I cannot do. That discrimination should be there very clearly. If I cannot do anything, just say it out. I need help. I cannot do this by my own. I don't have the time or I don't have the energy to do that. Can you help me out? I don't think any family member would like say, you do all the work and I'll be sitting on the chair and relaxing. You inculcate that culture in your children. Let them grow up into people who are like creative individuals who will understand when another person needs help. We have to give that to our children when they are in the growing phase. Otherwise, you are doing an injustice, grave injustice to yourself, and you don't know when you're going to break. And you know what? Women in the reproductive age are the most depressed people. Their mental health is like very bad. Lot of anxiety issues, lot of depressions, of course, among professionals too, because we have two major goals to attain. We have a family goal and we have a career goal. So here we have to understand where is your limit. And that understanding would come by discussing with your family members. Even if your baby is small, like 5 years, they'll understand. Mama needs a break. Can I sit for 5 minutes? Or like, can you just put the plates to the sink so that I can wash it later? Simple things will make a big difference. Yesterday, I heard one of the celebrities talking. He was talking about his child. That is, whatever is strewn around when we have kids at home, things will be scattered and strewn on the floor. Whoever sees first, that's a rule in that home. I found it very lovely. Whoever sees that first has to replace it in the proper place. It can be the child, it can be the grandpa. I loved it. Because whoever sees that, if that thing is done, a newspaper, after reading the newspaper would be in different pieces. Those who saw it first, please fold it. See, all these little things would go a long way in reducing our workload so that we can creatively invest our time on a professional and personal, and of course, on a social level. Dr. Pillai, I think I've answered your question.
Yes, very much insightful, ma'am. And yes, as you said that it's not just we professional. I also come across many of the patients, lady patients, postpartum depression, When you go into the history, what they are narrating, it was actually a postpartum depression, but no one actually recognized it, diagnosed it, or say, have told that, yes, you need a help. Many a times it goes uh, unattended because, as you said, it is the job of a mother, of a wife, of say daughter-in-law, of a daughter to do certain things, and we keep on doing it, whether it be that at the what to say, our body is just dying off, but we'll be doing it. We'll be crying, but it's okay. All the mothers do, and this is a novel stigma that, and it definitely it will take ages still to overcome this, because in our society definitely we talk about empowerment of women, but still many of the sections of the society still need changes at grassroots level. So that's what I was actually trying to bring to the notice of every lady doctor here. Whether it be your career, whether it be your family issue, you should talk about it. You should find a friend to whom you can disclose, whom you can share, whom you can trust. And actually, talking also helps to understand your own situation. That's what it's all about, counseling. So I also was, as you mentioned about a film star, I also came to read something that shield. We should exercise shield. S stands for sleep. H stands for handle the stress. I stands for interaction. E stands for exercise. Do any form of exercise. As you are a PhD scholar of yoga, you must be knowing, and actually you would actually share your experience of yoga also. And say L stands for learning. Let it be any form of learning, learning new things. Let it be the technology. Now we see that in our home itself, there are senior members in the family who don't know how to operate the smartphone. So for them also, teaching them, they are learning. And in the meanwhile, we might be learning something new as well. Okay, while we teach our children, we might be learning some new things that we actually did not learn in our early education. And D stands for diet. Often, as you said, that khana khaya to khaya, let it be the last morsel that we are having it. Okay, but it all stands very important. So we should all learn to practice the shield in our life, as you have repeatedly said. We need to set a limit to what we should be doing. So again, this I will extend my question to you only. How yoga actually we should definitely bring it into practice along with our regular homeopathic practice also for our patients also. So ma'am, in quickly, if you could give some insight over it, that would be helpful for our doctors also, where they can guide their patients whenever, wherever necessary. Yes, ma'am, over to you.
Dr. Seema, while studying yoga, studying in depth about yoga during my coursework, what I found interesting was it has great similarity with the basic principles of homeopathy. It also talks about freedom. It also talks about the mental, emotional, spiritual, physical freedom and a harmony between all these levels. So if you cannot practice dynamic yoga, at least a meditation or a breathing exercise, which is like a quick stress buster for you. You can do it at any place, any time. The only thing is you have to sit somewhere undisturbed for at least 10 or 15 minutes. You can do it in your clinic, at your home. If I'm telling this, if you don't have time, because time, we have only 24 hours and we have a lot of other things to do. But I would suggest you find time for yourself. But in case, as I said, when you have little kids at home, these time restrictions or time blocking would become very impossible to manage. So a 15 minutes of meditation, looking into yourself, finding that inner peace would help you to start your day with energy, calmness, and happiness. So it's when you listen to the term meditation, it is not something that you are going to achieve it, or it's not the end point. Actually, meditation is a journey. It's like what you call it, you sit down, you try to overcome all the thoughts. But in the initial phases, you have a lot of thoughts coming in, but there will be a phase where all the thoughts would go and you'll be attaining peace. So if you get it, initially you get initiated by a yoga guru, it becomes very easy. And also the breathing exercises is very simple. We do it for all the corporates, we do it at the office itself. The breathing exercises, there are different types of breathing exercises which help to push out all the carbon dioxide from your lungs and get in more oxygen. More oxygen means more energy, and your brain starts working more clearer. We, in yoga, we try to create a level of unconditional happiness through the practices, similar to what homeopathy has to do. So yoga does not have to be all the convoluted postures and all that. There are simple methods also which you can utilize in your everyday life. This is a big topic, but I don't want to take most of the time talking about yoga. Let's have another discussion another time. Dr. Seema?
Thank you, ma'am, for that quick answer. Very crisp and clear. So my next question goes to Dr. Varghese. We have been talking now about lots of troubles in our life, challenges in our life, but also we all have different personalities. And according to that, the way we handle every situation would also change. We spoke about different ways how we can manage it, but our personality plays a role here. As we learn different drug pictures in Materia Medica, we can understand that every psychology is different. So their way of looking at the problem would also differ. So in your clinical practice or at your personal level, how do you think that our personality affects in managing things, or any insight that you can put forward that we can overcome that hurdles of that personality, that role that it is playing in complicating the situations? Like many of the patients also come to the clinic, there is no problem, but they would be sobbing, crying. So, and the same would happen with us also, but we are unable to recognize it. So the question is, how do you think that our personality affects in managing things, and what way we can overcome it? Yes, doctor, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Pillai. Okay. So let me start with, I don't know whether you heard of the sorority, the Greek thing of alpha, beta, and sigma women. I'll just let you know what it is. It's very interesting, that I always found it very interesting. Alpha women, like they will always want to be first in everything, want to be the best of everything, etc. Okay, that's our 20s, I feel. Okay, then after that we get married. Beta women is, they're the pleasing ones, like who's always trying to please people. They like to be not in the limelight, of course, but they're just there, like a typical family life where we feel like it's our duty to please everybody. Then around the 40s, 45s, suddenly there's a realization, I don't know, probably the hormonal imbalances, perimenopause, call it anything. Then we become the sigma women. Okay. So the thing is, initially we have this phase, like if I love a person, I'll move mountains, and if he irritates me, probably I'll throw the mountain on his head. Then eventually the sigma woman is a kind, I'm neither going to move mountains because it's a task, and neither am I going to throw it on your head because nothing is worth my heart attack. I keep telling everybody that. Okay, so that is the personality changes we find in ourselves. We keep evolving. Okay, so we have people coming to us. So most of the cases in women is generally, what I've seen is a general anxiety disorder somewhere. What do you mean by general anxiety disorders? So initially throughout our life, we have, we have lots of dreams, like we want a good house, we want a good husband, we want a good job, we want good children, etc. Then once the children come, first fear starts. What if they fall sick? And just before children, I should say, soon after getting married, what if the marriage does not work? What if there is a breakup? First fear starts. Then it's a fear of what if the children fall sick? What if something happens to them? So I keep telling people, like, you cry without any reason, Dr. Pillai. Sometimes there is a reason, but then you have to understand what the reason is. Many a times, women, as Dr. Maharani ma'am,
Doctor, you seem to be disconnected. Your voice is breaking. I think Dr. Asha got disconnected. So it was actually enriching session. I hope that I could put forward the bestest of the question that would have definitely addressed many of the doubts and questions that are there in the minds of the lady doctors who have joined us. So in my opinion, you too definitely have set a standard that how undoubtedly we can achieve our goals. We can strike the right balance between our professional and the personal lives. Okay. And the only thing that is necessary is taking our all positive energy in the right direction so that we can achieve our dreams, we can pursue our passion and go ahead in our life with the definitely the challenges will come across, but we will be able to overcome it. Yeah, Dr. Asha got connected. So thank you, ma'am. In between there was I think technically there was some problem.
Yeah, technical.
Yeah. So from my side, I wind up. I wish everyone lots of luck and strength and resilience to think for themselves, to stand for their own right, to take their career forward, and whatever it takes to go ahead, whether it be your career or making your family a better family, to bring up your children to a better standards. So I hand over to Dr. Surbi to take over the questions from the chat box. Over to you, Dr. Surbi.
Thank you, Dr. Seema. I guess I'm audible, right?
Yes, doctor, you're audible.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Dr. Asha, I'm moving on with the questions from the chat box. So there's a question for you. How do you manage clinic and taking care of your child? What are the challenges you face and how do you solve them?
Yeah, Dr. Surabhi. The thing is, it has been quite challenging, but I was blessed, that I had a very good family support. My in-laws were there, and my husband, he's also pretty supportive. You'll not believe it. We do all our chores at our place by ourselves, which is like people are amazed. Like, you don't have maids, you don't have cooks, you run a clinic, you do that, you do this. We are very systematic, and we are like, we get up in the morning, we all do our chores together, like Dr. Maharani was telling. I've practically implemented it in my place. Okay? So I keep telling my son, I have a son and a daughter. So my daughter, she's just finishing her architecture, and my son is just in the third year of engineering. I keep telling him, girls are very smart. They can cook, they can clean, they can even work, they can earn. You should become as smart as the, woman that is like, who's going to come into your life. Okay, so that's going to be quite challenging. So that is something, with great support. We need support from our people around us, and that's a blessing, a great blessing, I should say. So I've taught them everything. They do it. And initially, the first part of my career, I used to work for a corporate, as I said. Then I started my own clinic. Okay, initially I had just one person coming in. I remember the work was going on, like the interiors were going on, and someone walks in during the thing. She was my first patient, around 25 years back it was. And then it went on, like, it went on, like, and from there I started one clinic. From there they asked me to put the second branch. I put the second branch. So initially I started with only half a day's clinic. Okay, because I had to balance between my clinic, my house. I had to come back. I had to be the mother. I had to be the wife. I had to be everything. All the roles were important. And balancing all the scales is not easy for anyone. Neither was it for me. But then I used to prioritize. So you get up in the morning and you don't know what is the priority of the day. It's like you have to plan the next day's dish. But here you get up in the morning and only then you realize what is the thing we are supposed to do that day, because your child might fall sick that day. Here you have to prioritize. Another very important thing I want to tell women is, do not feel guilty. I heard of things like, I'm not doing justice, I feel guilty. Those are very big terms which you're using against yourself. Would you say these terms to another person? Would you be hard on them? No, you're not going to be hard on them. Please ensure that you're not being hard on yourself. No? That is the first thing I want to tell you, women. So don't use those kind of things like, I'm not being fair. You are working for your children. So some way or the other, you are helping them. So you can't be the best mother. So I have seen women like, we all have this thing of, we have to be perfect. Perfection is our thing. Perfection, there is a bit of, I keep telling women when they say about perfection, it's like living with Hitler, because that person wants perfection, nothing should be out of place and everything should be in place, etc. And I'll tell you with a case, one of my patient comes in to me and he says, doctor, I wish my wife takes a break. Okay. Then I said, why don't you communicate? And communication is the key to every, the married life. There is no mind reading. We expect, women especially, we expect our men should read our minds. There is no mind reading. Okay. So you have to communicate, open your mouth, speak. Okay. So I said, why did you not do it? Why did you not tell him? Like, why don't you tell her, like, take a break? And he says, doctor, the moment I say take a break, and she'll ask me, why do you want me to take a break? What, is there anything else going on, something fishy? I feel men need that break. Like, we all need that break. I have my husband. Suppose I go on a holiday or go to my mom's place, etc. He practically dances. He's right here. He dances near, wherever I am, like in the airport or the, railway station, saying that, my wife is going home, kind of. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, it is just an intermission. Have your popcorn, dear. I'm coming back. Second part is going to be like a thriller. So this is how my life goes on. So like, I have people to support me and I'm blessed, Dr. Surabhi. But probably not everybody is going to be having, same support system from everybody. But it's okay. Like whatever is there, you get up in the morning, see what is your priority for that day. Some elders in your family need you, or your children need you, or probably everything is fine, then go ahead, go to the clinic. If suppose you have to prioritize something that day, keep it as a priority, but do not feel guilty. Do not feel that you're doing something, bad. You can't be the superwoman, as Dr. Maya said. Like, very true. You can't be the superwoman. It's okay. That's all, Dr. Lenini.
Thank you, Dr. Asha. And now the next question is to Dr. Mayarani ma'am. It's, how do you cope with stress from both personal and professional aspects of your life? Are there any relaxation techniques or activities you engage in to alleviate stress?
Okay, good question. First, I would like to tell you one thing. Are we talking here about stress or frustration? Most probably what you identify as stress is frustration. So the thing is, on a personal and a professional life, first you have to evaluate what the stressor is. That is, we'll have an aim or a goal which we find difficult to attain. Okay, there comes the difficulty. That's the point. I want to be a perfect mother, as Dr. Asha said, perfection. And I can't be a perfect mother. I can't be a perfect daughter. I can't be a perfect wife. There comes the frustration. So you have to think, what is perfection? There is nothing called perfection and perfect. To me, normal is boring and perfection also is boring. And being stressed out in your professional life, it could be like the lesser number of patients, or your lack of knowledge, or what you call it, your ignorance about using the technology to improve your profession. All these things are very clear-cut things, very, what you call it, you can put it into boxes. And you have to find the solutions for that. It's not an emotional thing. On a professional level, when you handle things, Okay, you don't know how to operate your software that you're using. Get guidance, take help, learn it. And if you don't have enough patience, we have a lot of social media options now. Or what you would say is in earlier days, we didn't have all this social media. The only thing that worked was genuine work. And the idea that the person sitting in front of you is to be healed and that person is in distress. And you are not to do anything, even if you could not help them, you are not allowed to harm them. So think for the betterment of the patient. So by word of mouth publicity, definitely you'll get patients. See, professional things are really easy to manage because we have got the boxes to tick off. But coming on the personal side, it could be relationship issues. It could be time factor where you're not giving enough time. Someone feels that you are not giving them, even the children or your husband or in-laws or even your parents. You, as a woman, you're married and you're staying somewhere else, and you won't be able to meet your parents. See, all time is very important. And for that, I will say that now we have the technology. If you don't have time to go and meet them personally, use the technology. Drop a message in their WhatsApp or just give them a call for 5 minutes. Mama, how are you? Papa, how are you? Huh? Call your siblings or just drop a emoji. Keep in touch so that they don't feel that they are left out from your life. And also, as I told, the emotional situations, communicate it. That's the biggest thing that you can do in a relationship. Communicate in a language which the other person understands. As Asha said, we expect the other person to identify what we need. On a lighter note, I would say the women, they have a cruel joke, I would say. If it's my birthday today, I won't remind my husband. Next morning, I'll say, yesterday was my birthday. Getting a cruel happiness out of it, making him feel guilty. No, remind him. Because, men, they have a single point thought process. It's not like women, they can manage many things together. Women can multitask, and men are a great failure on that. They can't do that. Okay, so just remind them. Okay, next week on Monday, it's my birthday. Come on, guy, are you planning something for me? Ask for it. It's your husband, isn't it? And you can ask for some help. I'll say asking is very important so that the communication comes out and you'll know what your husband is going through. Now, we were talking about the women, there's the other part, the husband or the male part there. They may also be going through some tough times. Keep the communication channel open so that you can understand each other. So you can be able to support each other when you have, see, I have a problem, my husband supports me. So that's an understanding, but it doesn't come or doesn't happen on a single day. It takes some time. You understand that person. You're ready to accept that person. Because in family life is mostly like relationship issues and also the financial things. So be clear about the financial aspect and communicate with your husband. Ask them what the financial situation is, good, bad, ugly, or worse, whatever. Just make it clear so that we can together find solutions for that. So I would say communication is one of the most important thing. And in a professional aspect, the stresses, you find the cause for that, find the solutions. And stress busters can be like, see, there are problems which you cannot solve and there are problems that you can solve. Discriminate between that. And if there are problems which you can solve, solve it. If there are problems that you cannot solve, leave it. Because it's not in your realm. Don't beat your head on that. Never do that because you are destroying yourself. There are certain things. See, I cannot make other person think like this. Or I want someone to behave like this with me. I can't make the other person do that. Just accept us. He or she is like that. I'm not going to change my attitude, but he is or she is like that. So this takes a bit of common sense, I think. And like stress busters, I would say find time for yourself. Listen to some music, read something, or just have a girl gang girly talks and all that. Go for a movie, eat an ice cream, or like go out for a lunch alone. Have some me time. That could help for some people, but for some people, they need a shoulder to cry on. So find someone who will listen without being judgmental. That's also important point, because if the other person starts judging you, you're more broken. Thank you, Surabhi.
Ma'am, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have that question. By continuation, I have one more question. The thing is, ma'am, you did say like about finding a way to speak it out. But what if we all are of different personality, right? And as far as I've seen you and also Dr. Asha, ma'am, experience is a very big factor. Like you try to understand, like from alpha to beta to sigma, that is a transition. So when we in our age, where I would definitely say I am in a beta, whatever it is, okay, where I am also reactive phase, I would accept it. So at this phase, even when we listen, okay, we feel like yeah, what ma'am is saying is right. But when when it comes face to face, we go blank. Like I guess it's not just me. I have other female staffs also who face the same issue. So, ma'am, is it because of our personality? Is that what is pulling us back, or is it a gradual transition that we have to wait for? That we will be very patient, and these transition will come within us. Should we work on it? That is my basic question.
Of course, as we homeopaths understand that different responses, different people, different stimuli, different processing, and different responses. So here, what we have to understand is one size doesn't suit everyone. One size doesn't suit all. So it's like to find, you get the core idea, you put your personality into it, your idea, your family dynamics. Because yours is totally different from mine. Your age is totally different from mine. Your age is different from mine. Experience is different. So, see, as I told you, you need not be perfect. You just keep on trying. That's all. So, get the core idea. If you have a confrontation with someone, what do you have to do at that moment? Should we like confront them, have a what do you call it, a volley of angry abuses or angry words, or just keep quiet for some time? When it's calm, let's address the issue. See, these are the things that some people, they start crying, and for some, crying is a what do you call it, a catharsis, but the other person would not like to say that you are crying. So it's all like based on your family dynamics, the personalities in the family. And being a homeopath, we should understand that, like, we identify a medicine for a person, what would suit. Because if you have 2 or 3 children, the 3 children would be totally different personalities. So dealing with them is we have to have a different what do you call it, strategy to deal with them. It's a similar process.
Thank you, ma'am. And I have a final question to Dr. Asha. Ma'am, the question is like, just like we all have our personal issues, right? We all have, but then I'm just asking one question is, when we go in front of a patient and when we judge a person, like we are listening to them as if like we don't know them, but our judgment is of course depends on our background also, right? A right and wrong is different for each and every person. So when we judge, aren't we being very prejudiced about a person, and how should we avoid such situations in case taking? Because what we find in everyone's action, for them it is always right, but the right and wrong in the other person's eyes because of their background. So how do we differentiate that?
Okay, that's a nice question, Dr. Surabhi. The thing is, we have multiple phases, right? And whenever there is an issue in our family, we get a little biased, as I said, like, being the daughter-in-law, sometimes being the mother-in-law, like, so we get a little biased, and we are sitting there with a biased in our Dr. Hahnemann, our master has already told us, do not be biased. Okay, so be true to your system. So when you sit there, so sometimes you have your, patient, the mother-in-law would be there, the daughter-in-law would be there, the husband is there. So there are always 2 sides of a coin. So we are only looking from one angle, where we are seeing one aspect of the person's story is what you're hearing. Okay. So we should understand that whenever our ego is getting hurt, we get angry. So it's all a play of the ego. So the moment you sit down there, remove we are all multifaceted. We have mask, like once we are like, at home, we are the mother, here we are a professional, right? So the moment you sit down there, be true to yourself, ensure that you're not going to be biased. You're not going to let your background or your personal issues come into your the healing art, like when you're sitting in front of a patient. Because if you do that, believe me, sometimes you spoil the case, and sometimes we spoil the whole family itself. Dr. Surabhi. So we have to be, see, as I said, I'm close to 50 now. I have enough experience in my life to understand that many things happened in my life. I could have done it differently. There is no shame in saying that I have made lots of mistakes. But I keep telling even my staffs when they come, do mistakes, you learn better. And that is the truth of life, Surabhi. There is no shame in making mistakes. The shame is when you start blaming the other person, and sometimes our ego does not let us, accept the fact that we have done wrong. But the shame is when you're not ready to change. You're not ready to change in spite of knowing that it was your mistake. So that is something you have to work at. I think you'll not be so prejudiced, like you say, like, when you are taking up a case. That's all, Dr. Surabhi.
Thank you, Dr. Asha. I thought it was age issues. Anyways, I'm moving on to the next question that was in our chat box. It's to Dr. Maya Rani. How can we pursue other different degree with so much of responsibility at home?
Okay, that's surely directed at me. It's all your passion, Dr. Surabhi. You get time to do whatever you love. So you love something, you have enough time for that. You find time for that. That's obvious. So here the word prioritizing comes into play. The family members comes into play. It's not the work of a single person. For me, I've seen my mom, like when we were kids, after our first sleep, we'll wake up and see my mom sitting and studying. She took her degree in corporation after my younger brother were also born. So she was my motivating spirit, and I did the same thing. I remember having my younger one on my shoulders when I was preparing for my MSc, preparing my notes, and all my MSc textbooks have her artwork. Like she'll be sitting with me and drawing everything. But the thing is, if you really want to do something, and that something is going to improve you as a person and your profession, definitely you will get the time. Of course, a lot of challenges, a lot of frustration, pulling the hair, everything would happen. But if you have a very clear-cut goal, you definitely will reach there. And I would suggest everyone over here, all the beautiful women over here, now the world is a world of more, something more. Do something more with your life. Let's make it more exciting. Take up more challenges. You can do it. Just keep your mind for it.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you so much. And I'm moving on to the last question of this session. It's from Dr. Sinza. I am reading out the name because it's a very personal question from her side, I think, because she has put forward a question regarding her own practice. So the question is, I'm outside India. I have a long gap because of responsibilities, and I want to restart again. What to do? But the problem is she's still there outside. She is not planning to come here. So if you can help her out.
Is the question directed to me, Dr. Surabhi?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. You
okay,
can.
Okay. See, now it is a world of technology. Just use it, because we all have people from around the world, isn't it? So let her create a very good website. You can get consultations over that and make some arrangements to deliver the medicines. Because even though Corona times, we did not meet the patients. Of course, the only doctors who met the patients were the homeopaths, but still, some people were not able to meet the patients in person. But we use this technology, isn't it? So Let her start that. Even if you get only a single patient in a week, no problem, it will keep on growing. So as Dr. Asha mentioned, her growth from a single patient to almost 10,000 patients that she has a case records. Say, you have to start somewhere, and everything will fall into the places. Of course, you will have a lot of what you call it obstacles or depressive phases. You feel that, okay, you're not getting enough. Decide or understand you are a doctor. You're here to heal people. God has blessed you. The Almighty has blessed you with such a great, and Samuel Hahnemann, our master, has given us such a beautiful system. Use it. At least if you can cure a single person, your position as a doctor or your life as a doctor would be satisfied.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. So I hope all the doctors, everyone's doubts has been cleared. And I've also put forward my personal questions also. So I really feel inspired at this moment. So as per the time that has been allotted to us, I guess we are running out of time also. So let me move on to the next duty of mine, that is the vote of thanks. So good evening to one and all present over here. So I would like to kickstart my vote of thanks by putting forward a small saying which has been slightly modified in order to bring the true reason for the existence of womanhood. We have usually heard this, right? Behind every successful man, there is a woman. But let me put it straight in this way. In front of every successful woman, there is a need for existence. I have voluntarily brought out the statement not to put down anyone, but after realizing a fact key, even though we are existing in a modern world where everything has turned out to be advanced, still these advancements are lacking in the ideology of the so-called modern people. I'm not considering men alone over here, but also those women who in fact should be the shoulders of support for those who wants to come forward, but are instead pulling them down. Let me remind you, my dear doctors, don't be afraid of failures. What you do next after failure is what that will define you. Everyone fails, but instead of brooding over, go inside you and ask what or how you can do it differently. I would also like to add one more note. If you ever have to, if you ever have an opportunity to change either you or the world, please try to change yourself, because the only person who you can change to make a difference in this world is you. As the saying goes, "Mulla pombudi ettu kidakkum, kallinum undoru saurabhyam." Let each and every one of us have the soul and courage to make this world a better place. And as our father, Dr. Hahnemann, stated, fulfill our highest mission as a physician too. So thank you to our panelists, Dr. Maya Rani and Dr. Asha, for giving us this insight of how to deal with our practice and personal life in balance. Thank you, Dr. Seema, for being an energetic moderator. All this wonderful presentation and coordination between the doctors would never have been possible without the technological support of our doctors, Dr. Isarar and Dr. Deepu. Thank you for being such a sport to boost us women to get into such a wonderful platform. I would also like to thank Dr. Kavya, our MC for the day, all members of National Working Committee and State Working Committee and other officials present here today. We all know that in order to build a house, we need a strong basement. And in our case, in order to promote and encourage the potentials within us, IHMA's National Women's Wing has played a wonderful role as our pillar. And I'm indeed thankful to National Women's Wing on behalf of everyone who has attended this session today. Let me also take a moment to thank each and everyone present in this session, without whom the program would never have been so colorful. I would like to thank IHMA's National Women's Wing for giving me this opportunity to thank everyone, because the heart that gives thanks is happy one, for we cannot feel thankful and unhappy at the same time. So once again, thank you everyone and good night. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.